Hello. Good evening. It is Thursday, and I am not in my usual spot, so I'm in a new environment.
No. Oh, okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you call me back in 15 minutes? I just got out of the shower. I was so dirty and sweaty from the shower.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm at my family's house, so
I can
I'm
tell.
in a country kitchen. It's fun. It's fun.
So we knew that I lost track, and I thought it was going to be a day trip. I didn't realize you're staying overnight, and so yeah. And then of course I totally messed up the recording, and so
Oh, I have a very simple fix for that. For anybody that wants to do on-screen recording with your iPhone or your Apple tablet device thingy. If you are recording, you on your screen you swipe from the bottom up, and if you once you enable that screen recording button, there's a little circle button at the bottom for the microphone, and it has to show red. If the microphone shows red, it should say microphone on. Otherwise, it's grayed out, and you can record for like hours, but you won't have audio. So that was actually the first issue that I ran into with this thing when I first started trying to record these things and then put them up to the channel on YouTube. So that is
now
my hack for that.
if you have a 10 though, it's the top right corner down.
Okay, so the
So
layout's a
yeah,
little different for
it's
that.
a little bit different, but I had the red button, and then you should get a red recording button in the top left hand corner, right? A red
Yeah, you'll get that, but then
when
you have to enable the audio for that. And if you don't,
yes.
yeah.
Let me go back because I'm trying it again tonight.
Sure, sure. Yeah, we could do dual recording. Like it's totally fine. Yeah, test it out and see if that works. And he's swirling, so I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to
Yep.
fix that. Hey,
Hello. Oh, I'm
hello.
swirling. Was I swirling?
You were
Okay.
swirling for like a second, but I think it's because you
Yeah,
pivoted off of this to go do that.
I did. That's correct. That's what I did.
All
So,
right.
so yeah. So I have the little red capsule in the top left-hand corner that's red, and it shows recording, and the little red button shows that it's red recording as well.
Okay.
So I'll see.
It
But
should. Is there a microphone button? That's what you need to look for. It should say microphone on or
okay, I didn't
something,
have that. So, yeah.
something to that effect. Yeah, look for
Okay.
that. That's what I missed the first two times I tried to do this, and I'm like, I have an hour's worth of awesome content with no
Right.
sound.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, same here. That's what happened with me last night. So this is a test run today to see if
cool.
it does it today, and then I'll try it again tomorrow. But you missed a great session. We missed you
I know.
last
I felt
night.
like a fish out of water. I'm like, dude, I don't have my craft hour.
Yeah. So we have Phil stepped in and was my moderator last night. He was a
Thank
great
you.
co-host.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it looks like we have Phil is on again. Welcome. Let's see. Let me just scroll through. And how's everything in the country?
It's wonderful. I left my
Cool.
house at like 4:45 this morning, and I think I got here around 9 a.m. So a little sleepy, but it's good to be home. So it's been like
Cool.
6 months
Yeah.
since I saw my family, like in real life. So
Well, that's cool.
it's been a nice break. Yeah.
So we have Fee, we have Jim, we have Ashley, we have Carrie, we have Zoe, we have Nan.
All right.
Um, uh, I said Pam already. So and
And
Carrie
Frank.
has
Yes.
Frank. Yes, Carrie has sent out a joint email that everyone should have. I mean, a joint DM that everyone should have access to answer your questions of birthdays and favorites and stuff like that. Nick has joined. Welcome, Nick.
Hey guys.
So if you have time to figure that out, as we had talked about the idea of gathering information on each other, addresses, and so that we can send each other happy mail and things like that. So
Totally.
and it's
Yeah.
totally
That's a great
it's totally
idea.
optional. It is, it's totally optional. No one has to participate, or you can participate at the level that you want to. So that's that's what we're going at. Fee is at like 3:00 in the morning. I think it's there.
Every time Fee comes on, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so lazy because it's like 3 a.m. in Scotland. And I'm like, here I am just sitting around eating hot dogs.
Well, there's something to be said about eating hot dogs, so don't
Right?
diss that at all.
But Fee makes me feel
and
like I'm like, oh my God, she's up at the crack of dawn. She runs, like she does her
So,
thing. That's impressive, Fee. It's really impressive.
we have to talk hot dogs a little bit later, but yeah. So yes, she's probably getting ready for her run.
Probably.
And so she's probably doing a 10K or something, something obscene like that. But yeah,
Which is awesome,
that's
by the
our.
way.
It is awesome. Yes. Yeah. Physical fitness is awesome.
Which
yes.
is 6.2
So-
miles to us here in the U.S. So yeah, that's
there you
that's
go.
impressive.
So what you working on? Did you bring craft supplies with you, or are you
Yeah.
working with what you have there?
Oh, Anna wants to know, who do we DM? We will add you, Anna, to the group chat so that you can put in your details, or whoever, if anybody out there wants to add her quickly. Yeah, Frank, you're right. Like my earbud doesn't stay in. I feel like this ear is like deformed or something. So like the earbud always falls out. I don't know. It's like staying now. It's staying, but like I have to put it in at a weird angle. So I don't know. Carrie is adding you right now, Anna, and Jennifer joined. Well, so my plan for tonight is think of it as Lunchables for craft hour. So I kind of pre-packaged some stuff so that I could, it's like a little bag of stuff. I could just kind of jam with it and go ahead and surprise, or maybe not. I'm doing another circle postcard. So I have all these circle cutouts. So this will be night number 3 for me this week of doing the infamous circle postcards. So that's my plan.
Okay, well, since
for
that's
tonight.
that's the segue, might as well. So tomorrow, for the postcard challenge, it is a handmade challenge tomorrow. I think we're up to 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds right.
And tomorrow is make a postcard using a repeating geometric pattern.
Woohoo! Okay, so I am like right up. I am
you
right
were
up with
you were
this.
there. You were one of the
Yes.
catalysts for this, and there were a couple of other people, Patty, Southern Stamp Queen as well, and so that's what tomorrow is going to be. So you're right there. I'm glad you have extras to continue. This is my project. I am making these little stamp-esque collages.
Is that Molang?
Yes.
Oh my God! Is that a real stamp?
No, that is a sticker.
Where did you get those? Those are super cool.
Well, no, this is what I am demoing Fisker's stamp cutters,
Wow.
right? Scissors.
Oh my God, that is such a cool. I
And
don't
then-
think I have that pair. I'm gonna have to invest.
And then what I've done is I've taken a Japanese calendar and cut out the little blocks for the dates. And then what you do is you mount it on cardstock, and then you use your stamp scissors to cut out the border, and then you decorate each little square with
Very
stickers
cool.
and transfers, and there's some washi tape there, and then what I'm going to do is somehow use these as a background for my geometric pattern challenge.
And actually, that is spot on. That is actually that song, "Will the Circle Be Unbroken?" The Johnny Cash version of that song is like, I think, one of my top 5 favorite songs of all time. So I don't know. It's serendipitous that we're doing
Yeah,
this.
it's all meant to be. Yeah.
And of course,
Yes,
I have
Carrie
my little.
says there-
Go ahead.
No, Carrie says you're cheating because you're ahead of the game. We're lagging behind you, so
No, not
everyone's gonna think you had an
even.
inside. Yeah,
I still
everyone's
have
gonna
to
think you had an inside
glaze.
track on this. Yeah.
No. There was no insider trading on this one, friends. No, absolutely not. I walked into this one completely by accident, and like once again, Russ and I had like the same idea, but I don't know how we were in the same like mind frame on this one, but we were.
We were
Are you
absolutely.
wearing a Mario themed T-shirt tonight, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
No,
Because I am.
Are you?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
I don't have one.
It says I'm the bomb.
You are the bomb. Absolutely.
was like-
Love Worthy Yourself has joined. Welcome.
Welcome. I'm like, what are the odds that Russ is wearing also a Mario themed T-shirt? So,
No, I don't have that. That's one of the few graphic T-shirts I don't have.
Okay.
So last night I mentioned my little washi cutter, and of course I
Wait.
couldn't
You can't just
wait.
show
Wait.
that for 2 seconds. You got to show it for like 10 seconds. All right.
Well, we did a whole episode of this last night, so
I missed
yeah,
it.
you
Oh,
did. And of
man.
course I don't have. Of course I have video but no sound, but
You're
you
like,
can watch it if you want. But anyway, so that is the washi cutter. And then this is the company that I was trying to reference last night. So this
I've
is
seen them.
Neko
Yes.
Zakaya.
And they
She
have a New
is
York store, don't they?
they do. They have
I
a brick and mortar
stalked
store
them.
here in New York,
Yes, I stalked
but
them.
they also have an online presence. So,
Yes.
but she is on Instagram, and you can follow her. And so that's where I get a lot of the things Japanese themed or Asian themed. But that's where I got these washi tape cutters, and they come in two sizes. So that is that.
Well, thank you for mentioning that because I saw that maybe in March and I was looking on Instagram and it's like, my store is closed, but my online store, e-commerce is open. And I went, woo. And
Yeah.
it was like going down the rabbit hole with the supplies. Like I wanted to buy everything on her site. So I haven't bought yet, but I think eventually I will probably ride the snake and buy all of her beautiful washi from like, I don't know where,
Well,
Japan.
but it's just
maybe?
not washi. It is all. Most of the
Stamps.
products are from Japan, but
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
they a
Cello
lot of
tape.
washi,
Yeah.
a lot of cello tapes, a lot of these little stickers.
Is it cello
Uh,
or cello, by the way?
I don't know. I think it's cello, like it's cellophane.
Okay. Okay. I've been calling it cello. I'm like, isn't
Yeah,
it musical tape? No,
yeah,
it's not musical.
yeah.
It's
But
cello. Cello tape.
cello, yeah,
I
as in
think you're right.
cellophane, I think. Yeah. Well, and it was what was it? Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
Yeah, is the correct word. I keep on putting an
Okay.
extra L in there.
Oh,
Kerfuffle is
dude.
the correct word.
I know what I meant to tell you also. Okay, so that 99-cent calendar, the desk calendar at Savers, I actually went back because I donated I drove up north across the border into New Hampshire and I'm like, I'm going. I have so much stuff to donate. Like I cleaned out closets and then I went in the store and I'm like, well, I guess it's time to go look and see what they have. So I went back in and that little calendar, the word a day calendar with the Webster's dictionary with the definitions was there. So I bought it and I brought it home and it's pretty cool. So I'm going to start incorporating that into some of my postcards, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And
That'd be
once
fun.
again, and the idea is that you don't have to use the current year calendar to learn a word a day.
Nope.
It could be, yeah, exactly. It could be any day. It could be, it so falls on a Friday rather than a Wednesday because your calendar is 2 years old. Who cares?
I'm just
Yeah,
after like the whatever it says on
yeah,
each
exactly.
day. The other
Exactly.
thing I'm after is a Simpsons desk calendar, and honestly, it doesn't matter what year it's from, but like they have the cartoon, the little cartoons, one a day. Then
Right.
you can take
Right.
them and you can cut them and
Right.
you can crop them and do whatever. So you can use them in your projects. So
So I wanted to tell you that I got your card today. Oh, for those
oh,
of you
you got it.
listening,
Oh, good.
yeah, for those of you listening, I just today got my first batch of mail to the temporary address. So thank you. I'll be posting as normal, but I got your card today, and the dad joke. I literally laughed for about 10 minutes straight. I read it and I started to giggle, and then I'd go into something else, and I come back and
I
just
was like,
think of
it's a
it.
pee
And
joke. It's
yeah,
funny. I have to put this in.
yeah, and I have been between cackling and giggling all day due to that postcard. So thank you. It was really really funny,
And
and it,
for
it
the
just
record, those little jokes came from a Dollar Tree desk calendar. So
yeah.
if you guys ever see that in the Dollar Tree, like run, don't walk to it. Just run and grab it. They're awesome. And they're the corniest, tackiest, cheesiest little jokes. So highly recommend it.
I
So
agree. So Frank likes, is it Nico or Necco
it's Necco. I
wafers?
believe they are Necco
Necco.
wafers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where we are in the feed. So there's a variety of different ways in which you could do this. I just don't really measure. So I just take what I'm going to do. I just glue it onto cardstock and make sure I leave enough of a border around so that I can then just cut around it. And this is just a visual border. So I just, I just eyeball it. So, and what the trick is that what you want to do is that you don't want to have to align these scissors more than once. So the idea is that you, excuse me, you want the width of your cut to fall within the scissors. So all you do is one swipe of the scissors. Because if you make it too long, I'll show you here. If you make it too long, what you have to do is before you do the next cut, you have to move your scissors and then you have to match that gauge. And
And
that's
if
how
you're
you
like
can,
me, you won't be able to match the gauge, and it's going to come out
right.
kind of funky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my hack for using these scissors, and it's just any of them. It's not just this one. If you do have to do a long cut, you just take your time and match it up because all of them you're able to repeat the pattern on them. So that's what. So that's how I do it, and it's just a matter of just putting little things on it to make it cute.
Cool. So now, Russ, what is your ultimate game plan for those once you have, like you had the Molang one, which by the way, that came out amazing. Do you put them on postcards? Do you put them in junk journals?
I don't know yet. This is the first time I've
That's
done this particular
awesome.
project.
And that's the
Yeah, so
best problem to have.
yeah, I'm just gonna make a whole bunch of them.
Right on.
I have all these old calendars, and this is a perfect little size, kind of thing. What I may do one for the holidays, and I think it was someone who talked about doing it was Magda, was talking about doing the advent calendar with postcards on Frank's latest
Oh my
episode
gosh,
of
that's
the
such a cool
postcardist.
idea.
So what I think I may do is do these, and you know how I had those little, these little boxes. Granted, it's too big for that one, but they have a smaller one that this would probably fit just right on the top of. So I may just cover a bunch of these or paint a bunch of these little ones, and then just put this on the top of it and turn it into an advent calendar.
Carrie's
So
totally selling me out, by the way. She's like, she wants that Molang one. You found me
what
out.
this one? This one?
It's so cute.
I have a
It's
whole
super
bunch
cool.
of those little stickers.
The Molang one? That's super. It's
Yeah,
just cool. I don't know. I'm just like, it looks good. It looks good. I like it. I like it.
like
Now, where did you get, is that Paper Source, Pipsticks? Where is that
no,
from?
this is I want to say this is Nico Neko or there's another one in Malaysia that I use.
Okay.
I'll bring it in tomorrow night. But yeah, so and these are just little bitty stickers,
I think you have convinced
and
me to start buying from Nico Neko, by the way.
they have a lot of things, and they are reasonably priced. And because we're in the States, we get a good price for them. But yeah,
Cool.
I'm a fan. Yeah, and of course, anything Japanese, I'm
Yeah.
there. So
All right.
so
I'm going to start. And
start already.
I'm
Start.
fancy tonight. Look, I'm working on a paper plate. Look at this. Look at this.
Wow.
The paper plate is my makeshift glue sheet,
It works.
right? Whatever works.
Exactly.
Gonna make it work
You have to
tonight.
sometimes you got to improvise.
That's right. That's right. Sorry for any background noise here, guys.
And sorry for my background noise. I have a Jolly Rancher in my mouth because
Oh, that's
for some
fine.
reason,
It's
for
craft
some reason,
ambiance.
yeah, for some reason I get such dry mouth when I'm in my studio, and so I just have dry mouth, and it just drives me crazy.
Do you find yourself getting dry mouth or like hyper salivating whenever you know you have to be on video? Because sometimes I do that.
No, that doesn't bother me. Being on video doesn't bother me. It's just for some reason the air here is so dry,
Got it.
and yeah, and I don't know why. No, you know me. I like talking. I'll talk in front of anybody.
Yeah,
Give me a
yeah,
chance.
yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah,
for
so
me,
yeah,
it's all good. But like, I think,
yeah.
no joke, I was telling Jennifer not too long ago, the very first time I ever went on video, I just wanted to record myself doing like a 1 minute, I forget even what it was, but I got so nervous. Like, I was like shaking, I was sweating. It was like, the only way I can describe it was like poop your pants kind of nervous, like like it was just crazy. And I don't know, it took me a few takes. It took me like
Well,
17 takes to get it right, and I kept reversing, like I kept deleting it. I'm like, no, that's not good enough, and then I would do it again, and then I don't know. On one of the recent podcasts, Frank was saying after you do like 87 or however many episodes, like after a while you just whatever with it.
you just accept it.
Yeah.
And the idea is that they're coming. We all start off and we want it to be perfect, and we
Yes.
redo it and redo it, and then it comes to a
Like,
point where
embrace
look,
the
if
imperfection.
well, that's a very Japanese thing, first of all. But the other thing is that that you're amongst friends, and so the idea is, if you don't like the way I do it, listen to somebody else, or go to
Damn
go to
right.
another go to another craft live hour.
Go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Go to the other
So-
craft hour wherever.
Yeah,
that is.
exactly.
Ah.
I agree.
Agree what?
No, just with your humming.
Oh. Hey, look, I found a lobster on a piece of paper. So now I'm going to put a lobster on here.
So I want to thank everyone that has been sending postcards to Bacone because
What?
yeah,
He's getting his own mail now?
well, he's getting his mail through me, but believe it or not, they're all talking to him. And like, what? Yeah, I'm like,
Oh my God.
one of them even said, "Russ, please tell Bacone." I'm like, what? Well, how does this
All
work?
right, camera's going up. Look, that is like a gateway to Beanie Babies. Like that's like the Bacone is the gateway drug to Beanie Babies. Once you reach the Beanie Baby level, like it has gone too far. I'm just saying. Just saying. And Russ, we got to keep you honest too, man. Next thing you know, your house is going to be filled with Beanie Babies.
No. I already have enough collectibles, thank you. Yeah. Okay, Ashley. See, even Rockabilly Nick has a card for Bacon. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When is his birth? Can I ask when is his birthday?
I'll have to ask him, and I will let you know.
And like, what are his preferences? Like, what is his favorite color, for example?
I will ask him, but his favorite color I know already is blue.
Okay.
He loves blue.
Okay.
He tried to like orange, but I refused. I was going to kick him out of the apartment if he took my orange color because he would be the one to get more orange stuff than I would.
Yeah, tell him not to
Yeah,
be a sellout.
Exactly. But anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, it was I went to the post office box today. Well, I went to all the post offices today. I had to go into the city because I had to go and get some medication and stuff, and I'd go to the dentist, and so but on the way back, I went to the local post office just to check to see if there's any mail and there are postcards there, and there was the card for Bacone, and it was Bacone care of Russ at the post office box. I'm like, really? Are you serious?
So Nick
Yeah.
Nick has a card for Bacone, so I assume
know.
that's incoming. Ashley wants to know, Russ, can you repeat the new challenge rules again, please, for I assume that's postcard challenge 13, the new one?
Yeah. No, we'll have to wait till the end.
No. He's like, no.
No.
Okay.
So the idea of the challenge this week is to see. I knew I liked Pam for a reason because Pam's favorite color is orange as well. So, but the theme is this week. It is a postcard that features a recurring geometric pattern as the decorative element. You can decorate it any other way, but the main decorative element must be a repeating geometric pattern.
All right.
So it could be zigzags, it could be polka dots, it could be fish scales like you're doing. It could be, it could be anything. But
Right.
the primary decorative element should be a repeating geometric pattern.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does that help, everyone? Please let me know. You're quite welcome, Ashley. Quite welcome.
And for anybody that is just tuning in for the very first time, it is on Instagram. It is hashtag postcard challenge 13. That'll be
It will be tomorrow. It's
this,
not
this,
there
yeah,
yet.
once it gets
Yeah,
officially announced. I can't believe you're up to challenge number 13. I'm like, man, where did the
I
time
know.
go? That is crazy.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy. Things that make you go, hmm. See, one of the things you want to keep, Jennifer, yeah, stamps, collage, anything. It could be anything. Any medium of your
Stars.
choice.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think what else could you do that's repeating geometric.
Zigzag. You could do a plaid, like a buffalo plaid.
You could do crescent punch outs using a hole puncher and make lunettes.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's probably so many things you could do with that. Many things.
Many things. Many things I,
Yes.
as in AYE, not IEYE. Because I was in the Navy, I talk like that.
Manny. Okay.
So my hack with these transfers is that you have to be really careful. I don't know if you can see here, but if you lean on these inadvertently, they will transfer. It doesn't take much for these to transfer to whatever it is, whatever medium. I always keep the backing sheet with them because they will transfer on their own. You know, they have lives of their own. If you can, like this one, I just transferred it, but I also lost this little bitty fern that's down here. So I just cut them out, usually cut them out, and then and these are the ones where you're supposed to take the popsicle stick. Of course, I don't have any popsicle sticks. So I just take my bone folder, which is here somewhere. There it is. And just use it. And then you know that it is transferred. You can do it a variety of different ways, but it will actually change color as it releases. I should have shown you the before and the
It
after.
turns kind of pale underneath
Exactly.
the paper. That's
Exactly.
how you
Once
kind of
you-
know
yeah.
that it's starting to pull away from that
Exactly.
that top
Exactly.
transfer layer, or it's like
Right, and
not wax paper, but the shiny paper that it stuck
Right.
to. I made the mistake, and it happened on one of those little wooden boxes that I had painted from Dollar Tree, and I put the postcard rubbing on. I accidentally touched the back of one of them, and not knowing, because I was playing with them for the first time, a piece of it stuck to my finger. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not supposed to be actually touching these. So
Right.
lesson learned there.
What am I using in terms of the transfers, in terms of the bone folder? Let me know. Fee. So, and the thing about these is that it's so difficult to know when to stop. You know,
Just
because
like
you have
these.
you have such a limited area, but you don't want it to be, too busy, or you don't want it to be, But right now, as you can see, I have a pink theme going because that is the color cardstock that I had available.
For me, that's the
Oh, the bone
challenge
fold.
with
Yeah,
postcards is I have like this little tiny space to work with. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to add another layer. Yeah, more is
right.
more. Yay. So
But the thing is, you're so good at that, and you're good at a whole bunch of tiny little things in a limited space.
but if you give me
And so
something
that's what
that's
I really
large, then half the time
right,
I'm like, I don't know how to fill this space up.
right,
It's a
yeah.
challenge.
So, Fee, this is a true bone folder. So this is made out of bone. A lot of bone folders are made out of plastic. This is actually made out of horn,
Is
but
that
that's what
like, I was
this
going to
one
say, is that
is.
like whalebone? What is that?
This is a ram's horn. And then there are a variety of different types of bone folders. Uh, Maybe I'll do an episode on bone folders one of these days. There's also one that I usually use. I don't see it right here at the moment. That is a Teflon bone folder. Here it is. It's a Teflon bone folder. That's this one. And the nice thing about this is that glue doesn't stick on this because it's Teflon. But the other thing is it's nice because you can get into the corners if you're working in boxes. So the idea is that if I need to get into this corner here, the nice thing about this particular one, it has that flanged edge to where I can actually get down here. And the best reason to use let me see if I can demonstrate this, to use a Teflon as opposed to a true bone folder is that, let me see if I can get this to work. Yeah. When you use one of these bone folders, you want to be very, very careful because you can get, it's hard to see here, but you can get a shiny area here where you've applied the pressure. And like if you have very specialty papers or expensive papers, you don't want that rubbing to show. You really can't see it, but it's there. So that's why no rookie question at all. You can
No
use them.
such thing.
Bookbinders use, yeah, bookbinders use them for creasing pages, for text pages, for turning corners in books, for making creases like there. But yeah, that's a bone folder.
And did you buy that at Paper Source?
No, Paper Source does have them, but most of my book binding supplies were either bought at Talus. So yes, Jennifer, there's no sheen with a Teflon bone folder. A Talus Online or there were a New York Central Art Supply here in New York, and there are a variety of different places, but they do have them at at Paper Source. They also have them at Michael's, at Blick. So yeah, it's a bone folder, and as you can see there, that's glue that I have to remove. So that's why I like using a Teflon one. So this is this one.
That came out really
Yeah,
awesome.
and these go by really, really fast. So,
Yep.
and that's what I like about them.
But it's good. It's like a minimum commitment. You can do them
Right.
quickly. You can put a whole bunch of them out. And I imagine you could probably do them as themes for holidays or
Oh, absolutely.
special occasions, or if there's just a design theme that you're going after. Or if that's all you have in your supply arsenal is one type of
Right.
thing, then you can totally do that.
One of the other things that I like about a bone folder, and Jennifer can attest to this, you can also use it to cut paper and get a deckled edge. So this is just my glue sheet that I have. What you do is you put your hand on the page that you're not cutting, you take your bone folder, and then you can just slide the bone folder up the crease, and then you get a deckled edge.
Now, what does that mean exactly?
A deckled edge is just a rough edge. So it's like this is a cut edge here, and a deckled edge is that. And in some stationaries, you'll see that will have a deckled edge at the bottom of your stationery because it's supposed to be fancier, kind of thing. So
Yeah, Fee, I agree. It looks a lot like a letter opener the way he's got it there.
right.
Originally, that's what I thought it was. I was like, huh, he's gonna open some mail. Okay.
Okay, a lot of talking going on.
Yes, we do.
Allison, they wanted to know if is the rest of your family crafty? In other words, is it genetic?
Oh, that is an interesting question. So I would say yes, in different ways though. My dad does like chip carving, he does wood painting, he does, I mean, you name it, he can reproduce it. So yes, and then my mom has an eye for pretty much like the aesthetic. I guess the aesthetic I would describe as like anything you see in a country sampler magazine. That is her. She gravitates towards that style, and then
So country chic or just country?
more like country chic with a splash
Okay.
of vintage on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So that's her
So
aesthetic, and then
Patty has joined. Welcome,
hey,
Patty.
Patty. And then, she, ever since I was a kid, like when we were growing up, she was actually one of our Girl Scout troop leaders. So she was always having us do craft projects and things like that. And then she kind of got me hooked on crafting and, things like that when I was a little younger. But I think I would say of everyone in our family, I'm probably the most obsessed with it, at least now.
Well, we thank her for that. So tell her that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. And like my dad is also obsessive about his craft projects as well, but it's usually like with respect to like woodworking, chip carving.
What exactly is chip carving? I don't know what that
Oh,
is.
you basically take a piece of wood, and typically it's like a piece of like basswood, like a block of wood, and you carve it down until you have a carving of a figurine or
Okay.
like a relief or
Okay.
yeah. And I think it's interesting because I don't think anybody taught him. Like he's just self-taught. Like he can pick up a book that will give you like just concepts of a design and he can recreate it. I'm like, I don't know how you can do that, but it's amazing. Yeah.
Peace Lettering has joined. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm assuming Peace Lettering is Iana, maybe? Because Jennifer's saying hello. Welcome.
Well, hello. Hello,
Yeah,
peace
exactly.
lettering.
Yeah, the only difficult thing about this is you have to work kind of backwards, so that you have to see what you're going to have in the foreground and then build up the background, so that it can, which is almost like a reverse process. I mean, come on, how cute is that little guy?
Oh
I
my
know. Yeah,
God.
I'm thinking that's a hamster, maybe.
I'm like, that's it. Seriously, it's giving me cute aggression. That is adorable. Cute aggression. No, it is awesome. He's cute. Those look
Solid ones. I don't
those
know what
look
solid ones is, but cool.
solid ones. Professional grandson, solid ones.
Yeah. About they're commenting that we have 16 viewers, which is cool. Thank you.
That's solid. Hey.
That is solid.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hopping in here. It's always fun.
But here's a little bling for you.
Oh, that's very shiny. Where is that? Cardstock? What is that?
It's a box that I made, and then I encrusted. I have this paper that had all these little starbursts on it. I'm like, oh, maybe I could put some sparkly things on it. So these are Swarovski hot fix crystals, and this is where I keep all my paper
It's
scraps.
an expensive box, man. Got crystals on it.
Yeah,
As my
but
late
it's
grandmother would say, careful, someone's liable to steal that.
speaking of which,
Yes.
I'm the Lizard King. Hey, Michael, welcome. Michael is one of my coworkers as well at
Hello.
Paper Source. Hello, welcome. No, Patty is asking, is anyone else's video freezing up? So if someone could respond to her, I'm not having any
No. Look,
problems.
my hands should be moving. Can you see my hands moving?
I do see your hands moving.
Okay. So, Patty, you might want to check your connection. It might be on your end. Not sure.
But I'm curious what I'm looking into insurance. Speaking of somebody stealing my pretty box. Never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, there's a joke there, but I'm going to leave it alone. But what kind do people have insurance for their collections?
Like a
So
personal
rather,
article. Oh, you would look into a personal articles policy, maybe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just curious. I
Like,
have homeowners insurance, so everything in my apartment is
yeah.
covered. But I'm just curious, like for people who have stamps, people who have postcards, like extensive collections.
I feel
Do
I
you?
mean, like Lloyd's of London, you can, like, if you have like a Picasso or something, if you have like super valuable, you know.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I have collections that aren't necessarily worth a lot, but in combination with everything else that I have, they're not, it's not a Picasso, but by any stretch of the imagination. But I have like, a whole bunch of fountain pens, some of which are expensive. And so I'm just curious as what if people have thought about insurance. Is it worth insurance, and what you do if you do?
So I don't,
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
because I have paper bits and nobody wants them.
yeah. Carrie says she has renter's insurance. Jim has to leave early. We will see you on Monday. Jim, have a great weekend. Thank you.
Bye. Take care, man.
Phil says a rider for specific items on top of your policy for each piece is what Phil is recommending. If you have like really expensive things, I'm
Right.
assuming. Yeah.
Right. Yup. That's what by personal articles, that's what I was trying to describe was the rider concept, but the terminology was eluding me. So
Yeah. And he says USAA is a great insurance company for me because I'm a vet.
true.
Yeah.
True.
And Frank is reiterating what Phil said. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, see, and Frank is going where I was going as well. That valuation of collections is tough. And that's the
I feel like it's
difficulty.
super subjective, right?
Yeah, and of course everything is priceless for us because it's our stuff. But do I go through? Unfortunately, not fortunate. Fortunately for me, is that my insurance company requires me to have an inventory of all my stamps because stamps have a monetary value of just their face value, let alone their collecting value. So I'm very fortunate that way that I have an entire inventory of all of that. But in terms of like my fountain pens, in terms of some of these other things, I was just curious as what people do in those particular situations. Things that make you go,
Indeed. I'm like, oh, you stumped me on that one. I'm like, wedding rings and things like that, you get a rider
right,
for.
exactly.
But
Except for this, oh, I don't even have my ring on. Except for mine, because mine's just a blue band. It's not really a wedding band, but it's
what's
close
it made
enough.
out of?
Platinum,
Cool.
colored platinum, yeah.
All right, I think I'm finally done
Yeah.
tasting all of these. Now I'm gonna.
Ashley is giving me a hard time. She goes, "Woohoo! You finally finished your stamp inventory." I have been putting it off and putting it off, and it's just painful to have to sit there and do it and count, count anything of that magnitude. But I was thinking in terms of like Frank has an extensive postcard collection amongst other things. I'm sure I know a couple of his collections. I know Phil has an extensive postcard collection. That I'm sure has value. Yeah, and what Frank is saying is that like the postcard collectors have millions of dollars in stock, but they don't have a face value, so it's hard. Some insurance companies won't even look at that. The other thing for me is
Really?
I can get insurance through American Philatelic Society as well, so that's very helpful.
They have stamp insurance.
They do.
Fascinating. I think the things I didn't even know existed. No, that's
Well,
cool.
well, that's the thing because because it is currency, it's considered currency because it has a monetary value.
True. You did say
Theoretically,
you technically could buy a car if you just brought a
exactly,
buttload of stamps
exactly.
into a dealership.
Right. Now, granted, at face value, you would have to use face value, but
A lot of stamps.
yeah, that's a lot of stamps. Carrie, that's an interesting question. The way I tell people is that I have all my stamps on in an Excel spreadsheet, and each stamp, regardless of the iteration, has its own line item. So, for example, I have a 37 cent happy birthday stamp, and then I also have a 44 cent happy birthday stamp kind of thing. So each style of stamp, and what I'll easy way to put each style stamp has its own. I have over 800 line items. And so that's just the number of types of stamps that I have. And then some of those I have sheets of. So, and some of them I have multiple sheets of. So, in terms of actual, um, I could figure it out, but I just don't. I don't. That makes
So
my brain hurt.
Phil has a
Yeah.
recommendation for you. There's a gentleman
Okay.
called, yeah, Dale Stultz. He will, he is pretty much the best appraiser ever. And he appraised the Andre Cartez postcards for like $12 million. I don't even know who that, should I know
Yeah.
who that is? Andre, what is it? Andre Cartez.
Okay, I want to close my window. Hold on.
He charges a fortune to do appraisals, but oh, he's a designated appraiser recommended on Library of Congress. Now that is interesting.
Fee says, "Do I have photographic record of my collection?" No, I don't. I just have a line item. Now, Frank, that's interesting because Scott's values do give values for stamps. The difficulty with that is that the prices that they give are the most pristine value of that stamp. So it has to be 100% perfect and graded as perfect to get the. They don't have to shoot. That's fine, Allison. They're fine.
No, my mom is messing with me.
Okay. Okay.
She's off camera, but she's messing with me.
Yeah. So,
I'm like,
and that's a difficulty when people are selling their stamps. They automatically go to the best price, thinking that they can get the best price for their stamps, to where they really can't
Get out.
because they haven't been graded as perfect. So that's the difficulty is that as well, and so that's why you would have to go to an evaluator with your stamps in hand for them to value them.
now y'all are just harassing. It's not cool. She thinks she's so funny. Thinks she's so funny.
And Patty says anything's only worth value if you can find a buyer for that at that value. So yeah, I mean, it
Who
was
wants
just a
to buy
question
my
that came up.
postcard collage?
Yeah, yeah, and
Best
it's just a
offer,
tough
man.
question.
Best offer.
I'll give you 3 washi tapes for it.
One
Yeah.
day, these postcards are going to be worth a lot of money, I tell you.
They are already
I'm gonna
worth a
start
lot of
Mod
money.
Podging. Now I'm going to Mod Podge. The challenge of being in this part of the house is it gets the most foot traffic. Unfortunately, it also has the best lighting. So it's like, yeah.
See, and here's you can have too much stuff, and what I have to do is when I do this kind of stuff is I limit myself to what I can have on my table because I think we talked about this before to where you can get so overwhelmed with choices to where you just get stuck. So Fee, she is using Mod Podge, which is like a
Oh, yes.
shellac.
It is if you're going to make a postcard collage or a greeting card or any other kind of project where you're doing a lot of little paper bits and you need them to be sealed, Mod Podge is a good entree to doing that. And this is the glossy kind. There's a matte kind, and there's also a bunch of other types of Mod Podge that are out there that you can use to seal and to coat and stuff like that.
Stuff like that, she said.
Stuff like that. So how many of those have you made so far?
Of these little stamps. This is the third one.
That's pretty efficient.
Yeah.
You've got a good routine going there, good rhythm in
It,
making
it's a,
those.
it's an easy project. So that's what, and that way I can keep my eye on the feed to see what people are saying about us.
Oh yeah.
Because people don't have anything better to do than to talk about you and me.
Apparently. I tried explaining to my mom what this was, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shh, I'm on the phone." I'm like, I don't think she understands. She's not on Instagram, so it's like she doesn't know exactly what. I'm like, I have an art show, and I talk to people on the internet at night, and I do crafts, and they're like, okay.
Yeah. The first question when somebody asks me about it, and then they go, "But do you get paid for it?" I'm like, "No."
Like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, Carrie, I'm so sorry. Carrie says she just finished her postcard 13 challenge, and it's an epic fail. She said, "I used the same paper pattern, and it looks like one cohesive mess." So emphasis
No, that
added by
sounds
me.
amazing. Carrie, can you
But
show
the
us a picture?
but see, that's the beauty of it
I
is that you can put
challenge
something on
that. I
top
don't
of
think it's a mess. It sounds amazing.
Exactly.
I challenge that.
Patty says it would be fun to bring our moms on one at a
Oh
time.
my God. No, not this one. No, no, no.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, for serious. I think tomorrow night for TGIF Throwdown, I'm going to have to go in the side room where like nobody's around so no one can harass me so I can like do my project in peace. As it is, I come home and I have one of those giant like TJ Maxx, like the big reusable bags that you get for shopping. I've got it. It's just stuffed to the gills, and it's got like my little box with all my paper bits in it. It's got my punch board. It's got my paper slicer, my Fiskars. It's got my scrapbook paper. It's got you name it. It's got everything. It's all stuffed in there. And I dragged it into the house, and I'm like, okay, this is my crafts. Here they are. It's got my little pen pal travel book thingy with all my stamps and stickers and pens, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
So your mom is trending right now, just to let you know.
I'm sure she'd love to know that.
So Patty missed the announcement of postcard challenge number 13 is to use a recurring geometric pattern as the main focus of your postcard, the main design element of your postcard. And the consensus carries that you should use that mess, as you're calling it, as your background. And you can put something on top of it to mute the messiness, so to speak. And Phil said he didn't know that you could do that. I don't know what that means, but yeah. And Nan says, have your mom come say hello.
No. No.
I mean, how cute is that little guy?
That is very cute.
Yeah, I know. It's just,
Those
I don't
look
know.
like
There's
some
such.
stickers I got off of Wish ones. Okay, I gotta ask you guys, has anybody ever gotten stickers or anything off of Wish before?
I have no idea what that is.
It is this website, or I think there's an app for it actually. Anyway, it's this e-commerce thingy where you can buy really, really cheap stuff from China. And it comes over in the shipping container. And some of these things take like 3 to 4 weeks to get to you. But the idea is they cut out the middleman. You buy directly from the manufacturer. So like there's no distributor, like there's no middleman in the supply chain. You buy it for dirt cheap. And I got these little hamster stickers once, and they look similar to that hamster that you just showed there on the screen, but I think the ones that I have are just complete knockoffs.
Okay.
But they were like 99 cents, and you got like a bunch of them. Like, it was a good deal.
Yeah. Carrie says she got $1 socks off of Wish. Phil says he heard it takes a long time to get.
Yeah.
Patty says she thinks she's ordered them. Oh, see, now it's coming out. Now all the dirt is coming out. Allison says the reason why you're afraid your mom won't let your mom come on is that she'll tell you stories of young Allison.
Probably. And like I already told you guys a story about how I was afraid of the vacuum cleaner when I was little, right? I think I told this story.
You did, but you also showed your postcard, your confessions postcard.
Yes, it was on the postcard as
Yeah.
well. So I hope the person that I'm sending that to was having like a really crap month. So I'm hoping that brightens her day at least. Yes.
So Carrie, Jen had another great idea that you can use colored tissue over your mess, and when you glue it down, like with Mod Podge and stuff, it becomes transparent. So it kind of mutes the messiness. And Phil says someone on Instagram said it was cheap. Talking about Wish,
It is. Oh, it's cheap if you're willing to like if time is no object and
right?
you don't mind waiting several weeks. And it kind of reminds me of way back in the day if you would order something out of a catalog and you'd wait and you'd wait and you get really, really excited. And it was so gratifying when it finally arrived in the mail. That's kind of what Wish is.
Patty said she bought some knockoff cheap sunglasses. Carrie says it's crazy cheap.
You can buy
And
like
Phil-
a silk romper for like $2.99 and it'll come in the mail. Or like lately though they showed really weird stuff like this thing to like widen your toenail. Like has anybody seen that? It's really gross.
I have. Yeah.
I'm like, why would anybody want this? I guess if you're prone
So you
to
don't get
like ingrowns. I don't know.
toe, yeah, nails. Phil is chanting, "We want Allison's mom. We want Allison's mom."
No.
Patty says, "Y'all," and this true Southern Patty. I'm doing my best Mississippi accent. Y'all need to meet my 80-year-old grandmother. 80 this month.
Aw.
Phil says, "Congratulations to your grandmother."
That is a
Post-Secret
huge
Live.
milestone.
Post Secret Live is amazing. Oh, I have a whole story about Post Secret. Oh.
Did you post a secret?
No, I was following them and I was getting such panic attacks for these people that are submitting these things because I'm such an empath that I had to stop watching it because I was getting so upset about these people, the things that they were going through and stuff. So, yeah.
Or some of the stuff was just like confessions of things that they had
Right.
done. I was like,
Right.
like some of it was just horrifying. Like I won't
Yeah.
buy the book for that reason. I will not buy the book. I'm
Right.
like, I will prepare
Yeah.
I would need to prepare myself to be like completely and utterly horrified
Right.
to read some of the stuff.
Yeah. Frank says he can't do Wish because he's mad when he doesn't get same day delivery from Amazon. So I'm
I'll
with
tell
you,
you
Frank.
what,
I'm there.
Frank,
Yeah.
I will swap you a really weird hand-drawn Charizard for some of your vintage postcards. How about that?
Patty is complaining about my terrible Southern accent. It was spur of the moment, Patty. I didn't have time to prepare. I'm an actor, a former actor.
Patty, how often are you checking your P.O. box? There is something in there from me, so make sure you check your P.O. box.
So now people are just dissing me on my Southern accent. He said, this is Frank. I spent a ton of time in Cleveland, Mississippi, and haven't heard that variant of the accent. So, yeah.
What is jumprope.com, Jennifer? I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. Charizard. I don't know.
It's
I don't
a
know what that
Pokemon
is.
character.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Well, Frank was saying he hates
Patty
swapping.
says
Okay.
Okay. Patty says she goes every few days, that she will check, though.
Okay. I don't know when the last time was, but I sent something out to you for your post box like a week ago. So I hope it got there. Let me know if it, for some reason, it didn't get there. Now I'm getting nervous.
Okay. We have 1 minute. Say
Oh
your
my
goodbyes.
God, really?
I know.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Less than a minute.
So I will probably be in a slightly quieter place. Hello, Michelle. We're just about to jump off. I'm so sorry. But we are here Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And, always working on something. Never know what it's going to be. So we appreciate you guys coming out here every night. And we will see you all tomorrow. And also check out our YouTube channel, Art Throwdown, for any past episodes. And we're trying to get the titles to be
except for
descriptive.
last night. Except for last night.
The majority of them are now up. So yeah. So have a great evening,
Patty,
guys.
good luck at the DMV tomorrow. Best of luck. Yeah. Let's see. Frank is talking about it. He spent a fortune for Pokemon character cards.
Patty did.
So,
Patty spent a fortune playing Pokemon
oh, so did Frank as
Go.
well. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
Frank did
thing.
as well.
All right, guys. Have a
Well,
great evening.
have a great night. Thank you, everyone. See you
Bye.
tomorrow. Bye.